Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, my dear sisters, and thanks for tuning into our channel, Muslim Fitness. Let me introduce myself. My name is Myriam. I am a French, Canadian, Italian Muslim revert. I've been living in Saudi Arabia now for 7 years. I'm a 44-year-old mother of 2 relatively young children, Aisha, who is 8 now, and Amina, who is 6.5. I've been a Muslim revert for over 13 years, I believe, just about 13 years. I really don't keep track of the number of years. I don't think it's an important factor. Point being that I was born in a Catholic, Roman Catholic family. My parents didn't necessarily practice much, but they did enforce us to attend church every Sunday. My maternal grandmother, however, is a practicing Roman Catholic, bless her soul. I developed an interest in Islam after meeting the man who is now my husband. Knowing that he was Muslim was very alarming to me at the time. I didn't know much about Islam, and what I did know was, like everyone else, the negative aspects that are shown on television and the news. So it was important for me to dig into this religion and find out what it was about. If I was going to continue being with someone and potentially marrying someone of this religion, I didn't want to run into conflicts later on and end up in a divorce because of these conflicts. So I started to read about Islam, material, books, the internet. Wasim provided me with some material as well, and slowly but surely, after I gained knowledge, more and more knowledge of Islam, I embraced it. I would have never thought that my intention was not to convert to this religion at all. This was not my intention. Really, my intention was to find out about it and to make sure that there was nothing in it that would become an obstacle in our lives later on, whether especially women issues and children issues, raising the children and so on and so forth. So it's ultimately important for me to iron these things out, get these things out of the way, make sure that it would be all right, that we could continue to have a marriage for as long as we live. Because the institution of marriage was always very important to me. So I fell in love. I fell in love with Islam within 6 months. I started learning my prayer, practicing my prayer. My sister-in-law Sonia sent me from Texas written documents by mail at the time with the prayer, the transliteration of the prayer, so that I could memorize it and pray on my own. So I began to pray on my own, and the feelings that I felt were just tremendous. And as I continued reading about Islam and continued praying, things were happening inside of me that I couldn't explain. I was changing slowly but surely. And then came Ramadan, and I decided to try it out. I said to myself, you know, I'll do it one day, let's see what this is all about. And so I did. It was amazing. I never felt anything like that. I don't think anyone can imagine what it's like to fast, what it brings you inwardly, the emotions, the realizations. It's just tremendous. I'll never forget my first experience. I had fasted all day. I was a career woman in the IT field. I had fasted all day. I came home, prepared my dinner, sat at the table alone with my dinner plate in front of me and a clear glass of water. And just the water that was sitting there made me realize, wow, look, I know where my meal is coming from. I know that at the end of my day, I've got a meal coming to me. I've got fresh water coming to me. There are people in this world that don't know they don't know when their next meal is coming, how many days it will take for them to put another morsel in their mouths, or to get a fresh, clean water. Forget about clean water, period. So, I don't know, I was, that's it. I was enthralled. Anyhow, I'm emotional. So I continued to practice my religion. Wasim was fantastic at providing me with material, with lectures. Imam Siraj Wahaj, Imam Yusuf Estes, Imam, my God, so many. And these were all inspirational to me and educational for me. So that's when my journey began, and I'm still on my journey. I'm growing every day, growing every year. It's amazing. So this is who I am. I'm glad to share this with you. I wouldn't change a thing in my life. By the way, my family are not Muslim reverts. I pray for them every day. They are fantastic people. I was blessed because they did not reject me when I announced to them that I had converted to Islam. My mom, wise as she is, would notice, of course, changes in her daughter. Mothers know us so well. And she had asked me previously, before my announcement, and I felt terribly denying it, but I just wasn't ready to admit it to her, to inform her of that. I wasn't equipped, I wasn't strong enough. And then finally, I became pregnant after my marriage with Wasim. I became pregnant, had my first pregnancy, and this was maybe 2 years after I had reverted and was practicing Islam. I was so grateful to Allah for the pregnancy. I didn't know how to thank Him, what to do to thank Him, and I thought that the ultimate thank you would be to put on hijab. So this is what I did. Hijab is a very difficult thing to wear. To make the decision to wear it and keep it on steadfastly, but the gratitude I felt to God was just so amazing that for me it was nothing. And because I was now covering, I had to tell my parents that I was a Muslim. There was no hiding it now, and I wasn't going to remove my hat just to be with my parents. So I informed them, and my God, my mother saw me. When I went to visit them, it was a Halloween night, and I went to see them, and it was the first time that they saw me in hijab. And my mom just gave me a huge hug and told me that I looked so beautiful. And that was the ultimate gift that Allah could give me. And my dad made a joke. He said, "Oh, look at this pretty little Muslim girl we have collecting candy for Halloween." It was just amazing. They are so tremendous. And I pray for them every day. Sorry, guys. I pray for them every day. They're amazing. I love them. And there's nothing that they haven't done for me. And though I've made choices in my lifetime that they didn't understand, hence didn't agree with, they supported me. They tolerated, and they loved me all the way through. So that's it, guys. Thanks for listening. And sorry about the emotions, but for me, it's an emotional journey. Ma'as salama.